to The Marc Cox Show. Follow the show on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
Well, that is a TSO and the Wizards in Winter. They are going to be coming to Scottrade here this weekend. I can't wait to see the show because I've never been, and I'm really looking forward to it. We're joined right now by Al Pitrelli. He is the music director and the lead guitarist for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Al, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. For people who haven't had a chance to experience TSO, tell them what they're in for this weekend.
Well, first of all, I can't believe you haven't been to a show after all these years.
I know.
Are you going to come this weekend?
I am. I'm going to be there Sunday night at 7:30.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Well, for yourself and anybody else in your listening audience who's never been to a show, I like to describe it as all the best parts of all different styles of music rolled into one, surrounded with the biggest arena rock and roll production ever. So in English, what that would mean is you have all the great classical composers, you have all the great rock and roll riffs. It's kind of almost a Broadway show in the way that the story that my boss, Paul O'Neill, had written is basically underscored by this huge band and orchestra and then taken to another level visually by these massive video screens and just an incredible amount of pyro and lasers and moving trusses. It really is about 2 hours and 15 minutes of an overload of an onslaught.
Wow.
How's that for an overload?
That's great. What brought you into TSOs? Were you there right at the beginning?
Oh, yes, sir. I got a phone call in early 1995 by, again, my boss, Paul O'Neill, who was just a good friend. He was a really good producer, great songwriter. We'd been talking about working together for about 10 years. And in 95, he finally reached out and got a hold of me, and he said he had this project he was working on he needed my help with. And when I went into the studio with him, he put the faders up in the studio for the song that's become Christmas Eve Sarajevo, 1224. And I looked at him, I was like, what's with the Christmas theme and the heavy metal thing? You know, it kind of made no sense, especially if you think about that time. You know, that style of music was kind of over and done with, you know. But he explained to me that it was a story about the war in Sarajevo. And I had told him that, well, I had performed there in 1990 when I was Alice Cooper's musical director. So I understood exactly where he was talking about, what was going on. And we just started putting, together this track that basically changed all of our lives over the last 21 years.
Oh, it sounds like it. So this, as the lead guitarist for this, it must just be so much fun to be on that stage and kind of be the driving force.
It is. As a guitar player, it's awesome because, one minute I'm playing Mozart and Chopin, 1 minute I'm playing good old-fashioned rock and roll, 1 minute I'm playing R&B and funk. It really tapped into, everything that I am as a musician, not only as a guitar player. Being a musical director is a whole lot more fun for me because I really get to kind of police the songs. I recorded all these songs with Paul years ago, and then when we bring them to life, my job is to make sure that they're interpreted properly every night and executed properly, because what I say is that everybody in that audience deserves a perfect first show, and I want to make sure that the band and the singers and everybody on that stage is just, at 100% all the time. So that's my real job. Playing guitar is easy. Keeping 18 people focused, that's a little bit more daunting.
That's a little more of a challenge, yeah, I'll bet it is. I see where you guys are, you're going to be on CBS this morning coming up, December 20th?
Is that tomorrow morning?
No. Next month. Sometime in December, I saw you're going to be on network television. So
probably.
That's pretty awesome.
The Ghost of Christmas Eve has been kind of like a perennial favorite for folks since, I guess, 99. It's, that was one of those things, again, we really didn't know what we were doing back then. We were just trying to make great art, That's what Paul always taught me. He goes, don't worry about, commercial success. Don't worry about, anything. Just you make it great, and if people like it, then it'll work, and it certainly has worked over the years.
Okay, cool. Here it is, just to clear it up. Says December 20th, maybe? It's coming up? Okay. Anyway, I'm just looking on your website here as we talk. So I think
you probably know more about my future than I do, my friend.
I think what we're going to try to do, I think we've got a couple tickets we're going to give away to
awesome.
TSO to 314-969-9797. Al, you pick the caller. What caller number you want me to give him to?
Oh, 3 is my favorite
Oh,
number.
gosh, that's early. Okay, 314-969-9797. Caller 3, you get 2 tickets to a TSO coming up at the Scott Trade Center this Sunday night. 2 shows on Sunday. I get to go to the one at 7:30. I'm looking forward to it. Al Pitrelli, listen, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to hearing your work on Sunday.
Well, I look forward to meeting you, and all my best for your family, for the holidays, and everybody in your listening audience. We're going to have a lot of fun that day.
We sure are. Thanks so much for your time.
My brother.
Yep,
Thank you.
Take care. Appreciate that. Al Pitrelli, there of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and we'll